So in the key idea is AI is now a drive a haircut, hiring policy and finance. And bias and algorithm and can amplify inequality. Okay, so in the educate AI and ensure fairness and major decision. So yes, can you please the next? So in this slide, I mentioned main bias type and which is a simple bias and annotator bias and temporal bias. And, and, and three key. Yeah, so in the is human susceptibility in labeling and Medicare data. And annotator bias is the human susceptibility and influences label. And it's the in term bias is the early adapter give opinion. So it is that gain a more accurate system. And this bias can be an equal healthcare outcome. In solution is this includes annotation and data than sharing across institution. And can you move next slide, please? And so, and in this slide, I'm mentioned about a pirate and emergent solution. So, and the author proposed data sharing in my paper, and the author proposed data sharing to reduce bias and improve EM performance. Privacy law like HIPPA for and already mentioned HIPPA and they made this. They also recommended federated learning that differential privacy and homo promise encryption to protect data while enabling collaboration. So in the emergent solution, I describe federated learning and differential privacy and homophobic encryption. And the next slide is, okay, and in the next slide is and the author say is in the paper in the application, but so this three core bias and is the data bias, algorithmic bias, and human induced bias. So in these three core bias, and author identify a data algorithm algorithm and human ingest bias for the developer assumption and cultural prejudice, and consequences is a discrimination in job, healthcare, and justice, and erosion of public trust and legal and reputation risk. So, and then can you move the next slide? So, in this slide, I mentioned mitigation technique. So in the mitigation technique, I describe a data level and algorithm level and governance level. So, and this me and in my paper, according to my paper to reduce bias for the use type data search and fairness and avoid algorithm and apply explainability to like LIME and SHAP. And then audit model regularity and evaluate a stakeholder. And the author also highlight a global ethical framework like an IEE and EU trustworthy AI and OECD principle promoting fairness and transparency. So in this governance level, I describe a continuous audit, third-party review, and stakeholder involvement. So, and then can you go and next slide, please? So, so after I describe the AI what application, so in this ethical framework challenges I describe a framework and challenging. So in the both paper suggest improving bias detection to adopting ethical certification using participatory design. So where effective communication has shaped AI system. So they also encourage using AI for their social good in health, education, and sustainability. So in the challenges for I already mentioning fairness via accuracy trade-off and global regulatory complexity and shifting etiquette norm. So then can you please go the next? So in a conclusion, is a shared insight from the book paper. I already mentioned bias thing from data, algorithm, and human factor. And the next solution must indicate technical innovation with ethical governance and transparent, fair, and privacy reserve system with trust and equal. So in this conclusion, both study agree that AI bias can AI bias can from a data algorithm and human factor, educate AI damage a technical solution plus diversity governance. So that's all my presentation. And so the next Nakai Shuilin will present their paper.
Yeah. Thank you. Can I continue from this slide? Oh, sorry, I'm not audible.
Also, then can you continue your paper?
Hello, can you hear me?
We can hear you, but your voice is too soft.
Uh, this can you hear me?
Oh, then we can hear you and your voice is slow. Might be your internet connection.
Sorry, can hear me? Or can hear you? Oh, okay.
Stay low.
Yeah. On finance, ethics, and AI. Both of these two people explore responsible AI, but I'm sorry, my internet. Let me continue. Sorry, Chair.
Yeah, no worries. You can go ahead.
So, which part you can?
Yes, I can hear you. You can go.
Yeah. Start from key finding, right? Yeah, for key finding, this paper identify human indices and agglomerated bias, finding metric like demographic equality odds, and mitigation strategy and pre-processing, in processing and post-processing. processing technique. For the implementations and society, they including now let me turn this slide. Here in this slide, we will discover the strength and weakness, categorization method, and metric, lack of practical implementation guidance. For conclusion, this paper is progress made but challenges remain for finance and continuous research. As a lesson learned, this paper is finance metric require careful selection and ongoing evaluation for fairness. Next slide is about the about the research purpose and objective. This paper is systematically review of AI literature, identify widely recognized indicator, principles and challenges, and propose a methodology model to assess AI indicator capability. For key findings and arguments, this paper identify the 22 indicator principles and identify principles including transparency, privacy, accountability, and fairness, along with 15 challenges or stickers, including lack of knowledge and resistance to change, and it introduced maturity model for education AI system. Next slide is about the education implementation. Oh no, applications. This showing embedding it is in everyone harms and pre-public threat for strength. It introduced a structured maturity model and model for understanding AI ethics of us the weakness. It's like the implementation step. Here's a conclusion. Consumer exists on AI education principle, but principle application is challenging. As a lesson that this maturity more help and to provide policy makers and security. Um, is continue.
Oh, sorry. Teacher, can you see me?
Oh, wait, let me.
Yes.
Can you hear my voice?
Yes, I can.
Because I thought like our group having a bit internet issue on it. So
Yeah.
thank you. So hello everyone. Good evening everyone. So I'm the tab president and my name is Mumimit, and today I will be discussing about my ethical AI from the perspective of the measurable metric and governance. So based on to my okay, just stop it. Yeah, thank you. Okay, so based on my two-term metric literature reviewed by the Polembo et al. And Baltu et al. So, sorry, Nan, can you skip to the first pages? It's okay, whatever. So before we before we looking at the finance scope, like it is important to know understand why metrics are important and needed. So in many AI ethics documents, we can clearly see like the both principle for like fairness and transparency and accountability and human oversight. But however, without the metric, like all of these values can stay conceptual and we cannot monitor them, and also we cannot compare them across the system or hold the developer accountable. So first thing I will present about the objective metric for the AI ethics. So in this study, as we can see in here, the paper reviewed by the 666 and published between the 2018 and 2023. So it is found a very interesting pattern. So most of the metric are focused on the fairness and bias because like they are easier to qualify using the model output and model output, but however, these are most no operational metric like metric for the other important etiquette distinct dimension like the transparency, accountability, and human oversight and long-term social societal impact. So I thought this can lead to the major gap, like the AI appear. AI may appear in the article on the paper, but we cannot objectively measure it beyond the fairness. So in this paper, the author argued that the AI ethical commitments say theoretical. So if we cannot turn it into the indicator, we can clearly see that we need to be standardized and industry metric wide metric similar. So it is also similar to the security or performing brush making, or but for the we can also say for the update. So sorry, Nan, can you skip to the next, please? Okay, so in the government agent across the fight level, so it can be say that the fight misaligned for the government. So to complement by this for the second study by the Batu et al. So he said that the government rather than the metric, and he also reviewed the 28 study and also examined the AI government at the 5 different levels. So we can clearly see that like these are like team or organizational, industry, national, and international. So they also have a description. So as I will say that for the team description, we can know that like internal priorities by the developer, and for the organizational company policy and culture. For the industry, like set a wide standard, and the next two thing is national and international. For the national, we can know that local regulation and oversight for international across border for the AI treaty. So these data format that the government's framework usually operate at a policy level, and they also can help the fire expedition, but not to do for the provides technical evidence and that are AI system. So we can clearly see that the actually behaving on the ethically. So so in this session, I like by comparing both of the people, we can compare for both data, and we can clearly see that the relation emerge like the 3 areas. So which are the name of can be like metric, governments, and the rest. So in the metric situation, we can know that the is a most fairness based, and the only problems that we can see for the other ethical dimension cannot be the measurable, and for the next area can be the government, and it also has a current status. Like we can say that for the mostly we can say that for the policy level. So in this level, we can have a no enforcement or the validation for that. So it means that the fairness alone is not enough for the real AI ethical. So AI must be integrated like measurable metric and enforceable governance. So without both, ethical AI is more be a symbolic culture than the like technical in the reality. So I want to say that like if our ethical AI require both measurement and accountability, like fairness. Oh, sorry, what happened? So hello. Hello. Hello, teacher. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. I guess she lost the connection.
Yeah.
She's the one who is sharing the screen, right?
Yeah. So should I share the screen? I can
You-
share.
You had the file, right? Can you share yourself, right?
Yes, I can share. Oh, I think she came back.
Would be
So-
better you share the screen because of their connection.
I don't know why did they connection is so bad.
Okay. I was going to share my screen.
Okay, you will share. Alright, let me stop.
Maybe I will show on the window. Where is mine? Just wait, teacher. Have to put it in the window. That's the one. Okay. That's it. Okay, teacher, I will share my whole screen. So, teacher, can you see my screen? Hello, teacher.
Yes, can.
So, sorry for the inconvenience. Like our group having a bit internet issue.
Yeah, no issues. Yeah, you can go.
Sorry. So I will translate again. So to be to be include like our like to be include the evolution of AI ethic. The AI ethical AI is depend on the bridging and gap between the principle and the practice. So I thought metric can help us in with the measure ethic, and also the government can help us to enforce on it. So in my opinion, like until these two areas are aligned, like AI ethical will be continue to face the challenge like the credibility and trust and accountability. So that's why my presentation here. Thank you for listening to my part. And for the next part, I think Mr. Hintao will be presenting on it.
Uh, Hello everyone. So I'm Hinta. Also, I will now present two curious papers that explore ethical challenges and fairness in artificial intelligence. Uh, hello, Myomin. Please move to next slide. Okay. Um, so that's first paper I reviewed is titled "A Survey on Bias and Fairness in AI System." The main purpose of this research is to analyze how bias appear in the AI system, how fairness can be measured and improved. So the author categorizes bias into three main types. So data bias are data bias, which happens when the data set is not represented for example, or when most data come from one group ignore minority. The second is algorithmic bias, so which comes from how models are designed on or trained. So that does is social social that's bias which reflects causes or social inequalities that already exist in the real world. The others hesitant argue that most fairness research only focus on mathematical equality, so such as using methods like equalize odds. However, fairness is not just a technical issue; it also includes ethical and contextual understanding. AI should not only be accurate but also fair and responsible in real world decision. So hello, please move to next slide. Okay, okay, thank you. The slide also highlights several several ethical implications. So base AI can lead to unfair treatment, discrimination, and loss of public trust. So for example, if an AI system used in healthcare is trained mostly on data from one region or which, so it may give poor results or other groups. So the others remind us that developers have ethical responsibility beyond model accuracy. So they need to understand how their AI decisions affect people and communicate their limitations clearly to users. So, however, the study also mentioned limitations. So it's only reviewed as study up to 2020. So new algorithm may have appear later. So moreover, universal fairness systems are difficult to define because fairness depends on context. So what things are fair in one society may not be fair in another. Uh, that slide concludes that achieving fairness require collaboration between technical experts, policymakers, at this. The technical solutions alone are not enough. Technical solutions alone are not enough. We need to share awareness and policy support to make AI truly fair. So, hello, please move next slide. Okay, thanks. Uh, the slide I reviewed is by Jovin Lankert and Beta. So the title is Global Landscape or AI Ethics Guidelines, Themes, Challenges, and Opportunities. So this story focused on AI governance, how ethical principles are translated into rules and guidelines worldwide. So the other compares over 18 AI ethics guidelines from government, companies, and research organizations. So they found the most guidelines agreed on five core principles: so transparency, fairness, accountability, privacy, and human oversight. However, many of these guidelines only show good intentions but lack enforcement mechanism. So in other words, this is what should be done, but not how to make sure it happens. So this creates a gap between etiquette, perceived, and practical action. So which risk making AI ethics only symbolic instead of effective? Or please move next slide. Or okay, thanks. So the slide also discussed the ethical risk of weak governance. Without proper accountability and identity, bias or object AI system may continue to harm user or misissue data. So therefore, the other recommend binding regulations and global cooperation. So to global cooperation to make AI development equitable and inclusive. So the studies also admit some limitations. For example, like it's reliant on self-reported information from organization. So it may not reflect what they actually do in practice. So the slide conclusion, both papers share the same idea: fairness and accountability must work together. So technical fairness metrics are important, but they are not enough without strong governance and ethical rules. So a combination of technical innovation, ethical awareness, and global policy enforcement is needed to build trustworthy AI that benefit everyone. So that's all from my presentation. So thank you for listening. Or
Okay. Thank you for your good effort, guys. And then also, am I audible now?
Yes, teacher.
Okay.
Yes.
So
Yes.
yeah. So I want to ask like a few questions. So first candidate, like Miss Situ, based on your research, right? So what are the main bias types?
Bias types.
Yes.
And I can't clearly what can you repeat it, man?
So you discuss about the types of the bias and then the fairness, right? So if
Yeah, man.
yeah, okay. So if you have to answer this question, so may I know that what are the main bias types based on your research?
Main bias. I think the main bias is algorithmic bias.
Okay, and that's all.
Um, and data bias and human or I don't know how to say that society bias, like what I mentioned in my PPT.
Okay. Okay, so the next question is for Nan. So Nan, I'm not clearly about your research papers because of the lost connection and also the latency issue. So what are the papers which you research? May I know that the topics which you research for two papers?
On my topic
Yeah.
research, yes, my research topic is first
I'm,
one is
sorry, I'm
it
Nan.
first
Hello.
hello man.
Yeah, I'm asking to Nan. Nan 开始一类.
Yeah, teacher.
Oh, you want to see that?
Yeah, Nan should have to respond.
Yeah, yes, miss. Yes, teacher.
Okay.
My research paper is academic.
Hello. Yes, the topic. Yeah.
Yeah. Other topic. I research or ethical principle. Yeah, ethical principle for and finance.
Okay. Yes, so yeah, that's great. Let me check another one. Okay, Miminet, based on your research paper, right? So what you have learned from your research papers?
Sorry, teacher, did you call me?
Yeah, based on your research paper, what you have learned.
So I have been like ethical AI require for both measurement and accountability. So as I mentioned in above, like oh, measure fairness metrics are also like a goal stat, but it also need for the fee must be moved toward like measurable transparency, or is also moved toward the measurable accountability, and also need to move for the our human oversight teacher.
Okay, that's great. Okay, so the last question is for the Hinta Al, right? Based on your research paper, what are the fairness techniques which you discuss? Hello, can you hear me? Hello, Hinta.
Sorry, sir. Hello.
Yes, my question is what are the fairness techniques?
Um. Hello. Can you hear my voice, sir?
Yes, again. Okay, so what are
Hello.
the topics which you research? What are the topics which you research for your literature?
Uh. And yeah. Uh. The topics are AI, etiquette, AI, and finance literature. Right.
Okay. Okay,
Uh.
that's my question. Thanks for your presentation, guys. See you. Good luck. Bye bye.
Sorry, teacher.
Good night, teacher.
Yeah, it's okay. No issues. No worries.
Yeah.
Bye bye.
Bye bye, teacher.
Bye bye, teacher.